wards, he has absolutely no way to deal with a Lifestealer or a Storm or a Clockwork for that matter to jump on top of him. So I personally really favor Alliance's draft, but again, it goes back to the laning.
Remaining.
Can the Storm survive against Lesher mid? Because that's a really big lane disadvantage.
5 seconds remaining.
Indeed, and we've seen Limp with some pretty impressive performances, but at the same time, of course, Pycat, he's an absolute beast in the mid lane. So let's see what happens as we get ourselves into the first game of this best of 3, Alliance versus Ninjas in Pyjamas, and we can expect some very exciting things to happen here today, as this matchup is certainly going to be a close one, looking at how the teams have both performed so far. And here we go into the game and into the lanes. Let's have a look who have we got on who. On the side of NiP is going to be Jonas and Fan on his solo lane Spirit Breaker. It will be both Hansken and Seal Kids on the Rubik and AA supports respectively. Limp's going to be on that core Leshrac, and finally, of course, Error on the Gyrocopter. Our Modi picks are going to be joined here by Luminous and Lumi. What are we seeing from Alliance this match?
Well, the TI3 champions will play Admiral Bulldog on that Clockwork. So far on the safe lane, we'll see if he actually stays there. Ake on the Wisp, saving all of his 625 gold, going for the quick bottle. Effing Man playing Bane once again. Hopefully, this will be a better game for him. Of course, the Storm Spirit for Pycat, and last but not least, I hear that we don't see too often anymore, the Lifestealer on Loda. I mean, back in the days of TI3, this was a very scary hero. And I think he'll be a very scary hero this game for all the reasons that we mentioned earlier. Once he gets into the center of the fight, he will be a terror to behold.
Absolutely, and NiP actually here with this very aggressive movement into the Radiant jungle. They're going to wrap around towards the mid lane.
30 seconds
so
to
battle. Out. They might find the high ground jump here onto Ake. Ake's got to be very careful, and he kind of senses something out, and yeah, they're going to be fine here. They've already popped down this ward, so they know exactly what NiP are up to, and NiP aren't going to catch them out today. As yeah, Ake keeping the distance here. He's not going to head up there anytime soon, and NiP will get themselves the bottom room almost certainly, and Alliance will just simply secure themselves the top. But I think, as you said, it's going to be a lot of it's kind of going to ride on this mid lane, just to see how well the Storm can do against the Lesh. As you're mentioning, in terms of kind of hero matchup, it's quite a hard one for the Storm Spirit, at least in the kind of through the early levels.
Well, it seems like Wisp is going to help him out a little bit in that particular lane. Not only will he try to heal him by the actual bottle, he also will be double stacking for him, evident by the tree cutting that he did earlier.
Seeing that, look, Seal Kid and Hansken, they want to look for a bit of action here. They're going to see if they can do anything. Just pop down the sentry, but of course they've already they de-warded the one observer that Alliance had already popped out. So Alliance, they're not entirely aware of it. They're going to sense something though, maybe in Pycat. Keeping himself back. Ake is going to be there to back up Pycat. So, yeah, they're not going to find anything with this rotation. The support's going to move elsewhere. In terms of the lane matchups, as you were saying, it is going to be Bulldog on the solo safe lane, dealing with the Gyro. So NiP decide to go aggressive to avoid the aggressive tri-lane of Alliance. Did you feel this is the best move from them in terms of lanes?
Well, it seems like that's what they're preferring, at least so far today, because they've gone aggressive 2 times now. I think the laning has always gone okay for Alliance. And I think partially it's because how they choose to play. Offensive is fine in this case. I think Clockwork will find okay.
Look at Pycat mid! He's getting incredibly low, and that's going to be your first blood there for Limp. Taking down the Storm Spirit. You said it was going to be a hard lane, and even with the support of the IO, not able to do enough there to regen the Storm up when the aggression comes in from the combination of the Rubik and the Leshrac.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he got his bottle then when the aggression started. And the trouble continues to happen for Pycat.
You look at the bashes here. Jonas and Fan, he's looking for some action onto Mad. He's going to need a couple more bashes, and it doesn't look like he's going to find them today. He has the charge, but he's not going to want to go aggressive whilst Loda is hammering around in the lane as well. But all in all, strong start there for NiP in the mid lane, and it's going to make it very hard for half of the Storm to recover from that one.
Thinking back to Viper's game earlier from Pycat, where he got ganked repeatedly and he just could not recover. Storm is one of those heroes that can recover a little bit if you give him the jungle stack, but he's not getting them. At least one of them is blocked.
Indeed, we're seeing him back up trying to find the F1 IO. Just being given the lanes to find some levels, and Pycat just playing it safe here, looking for that XP. And top lane, Spirit Breaker, just kind of trading hits again with Mad as he moves in and out, in and out. Loda's trying to wrap around here, and he's going to try and go for this one. There is, of course, a charge available from Jonas and Fan, so he's not going to be in too much trouble here. Just going to trade hits and force Loda back off. I mean, in terms of the solo laners, it looks like they're both finding something at the moment. Spirit Breaker's finding a bit for the safe lane, and so is Bulldog as well here on this Clockwork down bottom.
Yeah, I think right now NiP should be focusing on the bottom lane because that's the That's the lane of hope for Alliance. Because once Clockwork gets level 6, there's a lot of pressure on Admiral Bulldog to salvage this game. He's the only one that could do it by getting these rotations and ganks in. With not a ganking hero, Bane is okay if his allies can help him out, but his allies are not having a good time, particularly that Storm.
No, not at all, indeed. I mean, it's very evident on the CS as well. I mean, look at it. The difference between Lesh and Storm. 17 for 11 on Limp compared to the 5 for 0 on Pyjamas. That's massive to have at this point, just 3 minutes into the game. And he was thinking about the split up there. He's not going to follow through with that one. Pyjamas going to be okay. And Pyjamas just got to be so careful as well with Hanskin on the Rubik just hanging around the mid lane, trying to make the Pyjamas life a nightmare at the moment.
Yeah. But, I mean, Alliance walking into this game, drafting this lineup, they knew this was going to happen.
Okay.
I guess the question is how confident they are playing from behind. And honestly, they've been playing from behind for all the games today. So we'll see if it goes a little bit better for them.
With flair.
Indeed. I think, as you said, it's all going to be down to the Bulldog Clockwork, really. Once he hits 6, how he's able to kind of turn the tides at these lanes. Hanskin just going in very aggressively, getting some deep vision down into the Radiant's jungle.
This is actually pretty big because if they see Storm jungling with low health, and he tends to get very low health because he tanks stacks, there can be a Spirit Breaker that charges in and get a kill on him. Particularly if he's low mana or not at level 6.
Loda's actually on his own here, and Jonas and Fan, he's looking for their bashes, and if he can find another one, he's going to be able to go very aggressive here as Loda. He's been left alone as Bane's actually kind of rotated towards the mid lane. Maybe he was seeing if he could find any kind of positive action, but that's not going to be the case now. Loda, maybe he's trying to make something happen himself here with the rage. He's going on to Jonas and Fan. It's kind of a 1v1, and Jonas and Fan, he's bit off a bit more than he can chew. And Alliance, they'll be able to get themselves onto the kill board here, bringing themselves to 1-1 in this game.
In the jungle, Admiral Bulldog finds Ancient Apparition, and he does have the battery assault. Thankfully for him, it's only a level 1 assault. Is he going to actually lift him up? That's the question. The Cog's going to come in. Here comes the Wisp as well. He tosses him out of the Cog, but looks like Ancient Apparition will go down. Hanskin in a little bit of trouble as well. Stormstar joining in, but here comes Leshrac. He gets the stun on Pyjamas. Pyjamas a lot of trouble. The charge giving a little bit of vision. No, the big cow's coming in. He's going to toggle onto the Wisp. The Wisp is also going to die. And the early game woes continue for Alliance as NiP is running all over them.
Era just cleans up a 3rd kill after the back of that team fight as he takes down Bulldog, and that was a massive fight for NiP, just destroying Alliance on their own half of the map.
Well, Alliance knew that they were going to fall behind in the early game, but I don't think they expected to fall this behind.
I mean, just look at the CS difference as well. I mean, you look at your 2 position ones, 30/11 compared to 20/9, and the mid laners, 28 for 18 against 13 for 0. The lanes, they've just crumbled for Alliance, and the rotations as well, they've just favored NiP so far, 5.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the only silver lining that Alliance have is they've kind of, quote-unquote, kept the Spirit Breaker down a little bit. With that said, he's just charging across the map without any worry. Yeah. Here we go, he's coming to the bottom lane.
This should be good for the Spirit Breaker. It hasn't been out for the greatest of time, but now he's going to be involved in a kill. As Eris just going in with the Rocket Barrage. Admiral Bulldog pops out the cogs. He's not going to be able to do anything in return. There's just no damage to bring down the side of NiP, and they're going to be able to walk themselves back to safety. And I mean, you get 5 for 2. NiP, they've got to be incredibly happy with how this game's kind of started off here.
Yeah, it's really good for the Ancient Apparition.
Oh, and now they've cliffed Mad. Mad's been sent out. He's got a CP away here. They're not going to be able to cancel this one.
Radiant's bottom tower
causing a little bit of an annoyance there for the Bane.
Yeah, he actually TP'd to the tier 1 mid, but for 60 seconds, NiP knows that there is no TP support from the Bane. And that's pretty big to know because he's actually one of the better counter gankers, putting somebody in Nightmare under the tower. Right now, Alliance just want to hold on for their level 6s. Pyjamas got it, so maybe he could be a little bit of assistance. And of course, Clockwork being the most important one. He's 5.5, but that last half level is going to take a long time.
Some stacks actually being made in the dire jungle, and Pyjamas might be able to clean that up for himself here as he's going to head up there, trying to look to stack this one again. And if he's able to clear this one, maybe even with the help of Loda, that's going to be a lot of tasty XP and gold here for the side, which he really needs.
Is he going to clear it though? I don't know. He's dropping so low from this.
Certainly is a risky play, and we're talking about risky plays. Bulldog, he's going to walk into both Jonas and Fan and Hanskin here in the Radiant jungle. Now with the telekinesis moving him on he's trapped by his own cogs. There's going to be the back of a back air Mad though, so it looks like Elias might be able to turn this. Jonas and Fan's going to get the charge off, and he's going to leave Hanskin, who could be in a lot of trouble as Loda's trying to move in. No! Yes, he's able to rage just in time, avoiding the split up. Now with the open moves onto Hanskin, they should be able to find the Rubik, and they will do indeed there as Lifestealer takes down Hanskin.
Very important kill for Alliance. With that said, it was like a 4-man rotation, and they only got a support for it. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit up top, dropping real low, and that stack is still alive. So if NiP finds a stack and cleans it up, that could be big for them. I think the big pickup for NiP is that level 6 of Spirit Breaker will be coming soon.
Radiant Jungle, what's going on? It's just Loader. Yeah, he's not going to want to go for that one. Seal Kid and Arrow both hanging about. He does have Ake around as well, and how's Ake doing in terms of levels 8 minutes in? He's still sitting halfway through level 3, so quite a while to go for that relocate. But as you said, there's going to be that position in the game where a lot in terms of global and all mid lane. Actually, telekinesis and split up combo, they're being messed up a bit, as Bulldog's actually not going to get caught out by that one, and that's going to allow him to get himself away nice and safely. But yeah, once you've got your hook shots, your relocates, and there's a few levels onto the Storm, that's kind of when Alliance's lineup really comes online.
Yeah, we'll see if it's going to come online, though. I think
Radiant's
he
middle
finally
tower
cleaned up
is
that
under
stack now
attack.
level 7.5.
Radiant
the thing about Storm
structures
Spirit
are
is that,
fortified.
sure, you could get level 7, but you still need a lot of gold and a lot of experience before you become a huge, scary Storm Spirit.
Look at the charge on Bulldog here, they're going to go for this well. Alliance wants to look for some action themselves. Arrow does get the cooldown off, and now he's trying to turn this one around here. Pycat isn't going to be able to zip in deep enough to get that one, and it looks like the rest of NiP just forcing back Admiral Bulldog, now forcing out TPs. Loda's going to try and do something here, but he's not able to get off the rage before the telekinesis, and Hansken just buying the team time to get themselves away from that lifestealer, and maybe even going for more. As Limpy's got a haste read and looks for the split up, he will find it, but Loda's there with his defense. Feintball bringing Bulldog low, but it's not quite enough. Now the charge coming through, catching Loda, but it's going to be cancelled. Jonas Fan does want to follow through, because now he realizes he might be in trouble. Matt rotating in with the brain sap, and they'll bring down the Spirit Breaker there. The rotations from Alliance just catching out NiP.
Well, it seems like both of these teams heard what Illidan was saying, go fight early, but I'm not sure if NiP want to fight under a tier 1 tower where anybody from Alliance could have TP'd in and turned that ganked around. Critical thing is that Clockwork is now level 6. Let's see what those first couple ganks are going to do for them.
Hansken is just coming, he's scouting out this. I mean, Pycat is finding a fair bit here in the jungle. You know, we've seen him clearing out the camps both sides of the map, but it's still quite a difference in terms of net worth between himself and Limp on the Leshrac, about 1.5 at the moment. And Ake coming in just to top Pycat back up. And 10 minutes in, I mean, kind of looking at the both sides, do you feel that NiP at this moment are going to be happier with going into fights than Alliance? So Alliance still kind of not ready to go toe-to-toe with NiP?
I think Alliance is sort of ready now, with ball lightning as well as hookshot available. I think NiP has done an excellent job in terms of slowing Alliance down. I think this is where you slow down a little bit, farm your key item. Leshrac wants to finish his Bloodstone, and I imagine that Gyrocopter wants to get a fairly early Blacking Bar this game. There's going to be a lot of people jumping on top of him, and he will need that magical immunity. It looks like he's going to begin with the Helmet Dominator just for a little bit of more farming.
Okay, and that's so a lifestealer. Loda's going to go straight up for that arm that of course has the gloves of haste and the recipe, working his way towards it. Nearly got enough for that helm, and lines are being drawn towards the top lane. Looks like Alliance do want to go for something here. As you said, they've got the hook shot, they've got the capabilities to jump in and smoking forward.
Oh, the Delusion tanking the gank. That's huge. You got to keep in mind that it's a 5-man rotation for Alliance up top. Of course, the warding for NiP really helped out. There was a deep jungle. There was 2 deep jungle wards. Nobody was stacking.
Might still find something here. I mean, they found a Fiend Script onto Sealkid, and Sealkid, even though they're aware of that gank coming in, they're still going to find a nice tasty kill there as Bane cleans up the Ancient Apparition.
Nicely done by Alliance. Meanwhile, the rest of the team for NiP, though, is farming away.
Yeah. That's true. The bottom lane, Jonathan found that was a mid lane Limp, continuing to keep himself at the top of that network board, working towards that Bloodstone with the point booster online and coming up to 1k gold on top of it as well.
I gotta say, Alliance has been playing very impressively for the past 5 or 6 minutes, because you gotta keep in mind the game at one point was 2-5 in favor of NiP, and you know, Pycat got first blooded, their jungle was warded. Now the score is 5-5 and they're ready to fight, but hold that thought, because here comes a big charge from the Spirit Breaker.
Oh, they're going to cancel that. They'd only had the Rubik there as well to help out, and aware that Alliance were in the nearby neighborhood. Bottom lane Clockwork was about, hasn't got the hook shot back online there, still waiting for it to come off cooldown, but it must have been close. Yeah, now, yeah, it is there and waiting and available now. Top lane, we might see something kick off here as they're getting very close to both Era and of course the AA. And Pycat's got an invis rune here, maybe looking to try and set something up. He's going to head into the dire jungle. He's not going to find anyone here though, as
he doesn't have much mana. Like, even if he runs into a support, I'm not sure if he could solo him. He is kind of swinging around to the mid lane.
Maybe with the help of who else has he got? It's just the IO and the Bane in the mid lane. Hansken? Might be the target here. Is Pyjamas just trying to line something up? Is he going to go for this one?
Well, the charge, meanwhile, is going up top, and that's charging through a ward. Loda in a little bit of trouble. No, actually, Johannes cancels the charge.
And still, Pyjamas. There we go. He's going to throw it out. No, yeah, there's not enough to follow it. Yeah, just trying to make the most of the invis. Just getting a punch through, but still 5-5. He's being very careful about the fights that they look to take now.
So from the nature of Alliance's draft, they're really good at picking people off, and in fact picking multiple people off, because they're great at chasing as well. The problem is they're not really good at knocking down towers. We don't see the Leshrac, for example. We don't see a Nature's Prophet, which they would love to have. Meanwhile, when NiP gets kills, they're great at clearing creep wave, and with Diabolic Edict, they could knock down these T1s with relative ease. So I think Alliance, despite the game being a lot more even now, they have pretty big hill to climb.
And we'll see what they're able to do. Ake, he's closing in on that level 6. He's going to have it fairly shortly. Loda, yeah, going in with the armlet in the range onto Silky, but the bashes, of course, from Jonas Fan holding him back. Mad with the brain cell will finish off the A, and now with the Fuse Grow onto Jonas Fan. They're looking for more. They do have Ake about here. Loda will just heal himself back up there. We won't be able to find anything else. And now it's going to be Alliance that are on the retreat. NiP, they're all moving in. They're going to be able to find the slow there as Limp gets the Lightning Storm down. Can they find anything else onto Loda? No, he's just a little bit too speedy there with the help of Ake. And it is just going to be that one clean kill onto the AA, and Alliance losing nothing in return there.
Yeah, Alliance also gaining a lot of farm time for Pyjamas, who has been unmolested for the past 5 minutes or so, being able to walk across the map, farming all the jungle camps, and he is slowly and steadily getting to his Orchid.
Bulldog, he wants to find a hook shot in, potentially Seal Kid. He's all alone, and there we go with the hook shot initiation. Ake coming in as well to help out with the spirits, bringing Seal Kid low and bringing him down. Era's TP'd in now. He has got backup coming in the form of Jonas and Fan, and they might be able to find Bulldog here with the charge. No, he's actually going to stop it here as he gets held back, and it's going to be his never strike that still follows through, bringing Bulldog low, but here we go. Ake keeping the clock wave alive. Bulldog's going to get out. Pyjamas going to be able to ball lightning away, and again, Alliance, will they be able to get away with this one? Pyjamas with the TP, he gets out. There's no damage, nothing to stop it. And Ake, this is why you ban out the IO against Alliance.
Yeah, Bulldog runs away with less than 50 health. It was the battery assault that actually canceled the charge, so very lucky for Admiral Bulldog, although it's a max battery assault and it's going to be pinging out a lot of the mini suns. So great play by Alliance, and it was a pretty deep dive, right? They're between T1 and T2, but they still made it out. Meanwhile, if we look at effing Matt, he's almost like Glimmer Cape. This is a support that generally don't get a ton of farm, but because he's 2-0-2, having Glimmer Cape against Call Down, as well as Lestrac's AoE spells, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. It makes Lifestealer, it makes Storm so much more difficult to kill.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, even just against heroes like the Spirit Break, you know, relying on the magical damage from the bash, it's going to be very hard for NiP to play around, and it's certainly something else that they're going to have to worry about.
I gotta say, this is only the first game I've seen a Spirit Breaker that's not bashing non-stop. Like, this is actually a 17% bash, right? Like, all the top lane exchanges, Spirit Breaker wasn't even bashing at all.
Ooh, Pyjamas, he's ready to go for some action here as Loda infests into him. He's heading towards the top lane. Will we be able to catch anyone out at the moment? It is the AA that's out there, but they don't have any lane vision here behind the tower.
Kid. This is going to happen over and over again.
I think he just came in range there with the flying vision for the Remnant. And the question is, does Pyjamas go for this one? Seal Kid, he's not going to stick around this tier 1. He senses something up. And it doesn't look like Pyjamas going to catch anyone out here with Loda today.
Yeah, this is going to be where vision and deep warding is going to be important. Clockwork is going to provide that vision. The deep wards will allow relocate to happen. And speaking of relocate, Ake has Scout level 6, I think for a little bit while now, but we still haven't seen that first relocate yet.
Indeed, I mean 8-5 at the moment. They haven't really needed to go for it. And NiP, they're playing very grouped up at the moment. Talking about now exactly, they've got 5 heroes towards the mid lane. And it's just going to be Limp trying to get the push on here, but now Bulldog moving in with the Glimmer Cape provided by Matt. Will drop the cogs. He's going to be able to trap up Hansken here. Hansken trying to turn around with the telekinesis, but Pyjamas coming from the back line. Loda's there as well with the open wizard onto Era. Era's going to look to TP out. The Beast Group holding Limp down. They'll find the less, and now Jonas in fact getting caught out by the hook shot from Bulldog. They're looking for more lights. The Glimmer Cape, the relocate. They keep Bulldog alive. It's a double kill for Pyjamas. 3 heroes dropping on NiP. Era's trying to move in here. Now with the chilling touch, can they find anything in return? No, Matt's going to be able to get himself out of range. Loda keeps himself up and alive. And again, Alliance just taking the fight and losing nothing to the side of NiP.
You can see why Glimmer Cape is such an excellent item, allowing Clockwork to initiate into the barrage of all these AoE spells and just kind of shrug it off. In fact, he even hooked in at half HP, eating Ice Blast on the way. Alliance wins a huge fight. He gets Power Deny on the mid lane as well. And not only that, Clockwork previous to that fight,
Radiant's
already had
middle
Blaemail
tower has been
finished.
denied.
If you look at what Blaemail can do against Leshrac, against the Gyrocopter, both of these heroes have difficulty controlling their damage output. They just kind of throw it all out, splat on the table, and they're going to have a lot of it return to them, especially before they finish their BKBs.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Pyke, he's coming up to the Orchid, and he's recovered so well as well. He's only about 1.6k behind Limp on that Leshrac. I mean, this is the one thing for the side of NiP. In terms of farm, they're still looking very good. I mean, Era's on 7k. He's just under 1,000 ahead of Loader. But in terms of the old kind of team net game, there's a slight advantage, and here we go. Pyke looking for the solo pickoffs. It's going to bring Ansken Loader. It's actually going to be the Illusions just finishing off the Rubik there with the right click. And again, Pyke, his recovery's been remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about how the NiP cores are farming well, but I think the recurring problem for NiP is that their support is not bottom lane here, charging onto Effing Man, and as well as a strike going onto Effing Man. He will go there unless Glimmer Cape helps. No, Glimmer Cape's still on cooldown. Very needed kill there against Alliance.
Indeed, but at the same time, though, Alliance applying the pressure here onto the mid lane. NiP, they're going to start to move towards that. Maybe they can do something against it.
Bottom lane Loda going right on the Spear Breaker, who's forced to charge out.
And is he charging onto it? So, just towards the mid lane here. Doesn't look like they can use this to fight into. But it's still 12-6 at the moment, but it's still a very close game. The fact that NiP, they've been using the space a little bit more than Alliance in terms of farming. And Lesh, he's still up there at the top limit at the moment on 8.2k. And Era still very much keeping himself in the game. Bulldog has got the hook shot here, though, on the high ground. And Alliance, do they want to try and find his
Oh no!
Don't walk up there, son. Oh, they actually the constantly popped down. Looks like Alliance, they don't want to try and fight into that one. And they're not going to jump onto Hansken. Maybe aware that NiP, they do have the full force behind
Dire's
him.
top tower is under
Not
attack.
confident enough to take that fight, at least without Mad and without Loader, who are still down on the bottom lane looking for the push.
Yeah, also, I don't think they have vision onto who was walking up from the low ground, so they don't want to face the wrath of perhaps a call down, as well as lightning storms and whatnot. But Alliance happy to play the game a little bit
Dire's
slow
bottom
now.
tower
They
is
know
under
that the
attack.
pickoffs are going to be available throughout the game. Storm as well as Clockwork is going to get solo kills on Rubik and Ancient Apparition. So, I mean, like I was mentioning earlier, I think this is where NiP has big trouble. Their supports are just not keeping up. The cores are picking them off too easily. Yeah, looks like that's a Radiant finish. And when I say Radiant finish, sorry, I meant Midas.
And that was a very smart move as well here from the side of Alliance. That smoke up by the tier 2 was signaled out straight away by Mad on the map. So they were aware that NiP were looking for something, and it was exactly right. He also drew on the Radiant jungle as well, warning Alliance to be careful. Then Alliance, they're going to smoke up themselves, and maybe look to counter into that. The question is, who gets the jump here? It's going to be Loader going in with Bulldog onto Era. Limp's going to get the punish from Mad, bring him down. Bulldog's going to drop as well, and this is looking good for the side of NiP if they can keep this one up. Yonison fan coming in as well with the bashes. It's a 3-for-1. Can they bring down Loader here as well? He has got the backup of Ake, but there's 3 members on the side of NiP looking for him. The split up will catch Ake, but he gets the relocate cast out. He'll be able to save Loader, and he is going to be able to keep himself alive as well by the looks of it. The charge from Yonison fan is going to head towards the top lane, but straight away the TP's back to base as Ake and Loader are able to get themselves out of what was a pretty bad fight there for Alliance, losing
Dire's
3 heroes and
top
only
tower
bringing
is
down
under
Era on the
attack.
gyrocopter.
Well, that was a great fight for NiP, and they slowed down the Clockwork, they slowed down the Storm Spirit, and you can see in this particular game, BKB is going to be the item choice for a lot of these heroes. The only reason that Lifestealer was able to survive was because he raged throughout most of that. So I imagine that most of these heroes are going to start rushing for that item. I guess Storm, you could make the argument that he's going to just dance around in the team fight, but it feels like this could be a BKB Storm game as well.
I mean, Limp now has picked up the 4-star. He's managed to
Dire's top
Bloodstone
tower has been denied.
as well, and still just rocketing ahead in terms of value. The Leshrac is going to be very, very scary in these engagements until, as you said, more BKBs come online for the side of Alliance. But
he's actually gone for 4-staff first, which...
Yeah, I guess just because of the clockwork this game.
Against the Clockwork, or if your ally gets gripped and he's facing towards you, you just push him away, out of harm's way for a little bit. I feel that Glimmer Cape would also be a very good choice for Limp to pick up as well. I think a lot of Leshracks like to pick up the Glimmer Cape. It's going to be great for himself, and more importantly, it's going to be great for his allies as well. Speaking of which, this is Ancienting away.
Indeed, they've got the stacks up here for Era. Going to keep him getting that goal in the back. Picked up an Ogre Club at the moment on top of that Yasha and Helm. So he's going to be able to pack a fair bit of a punch here in these fights when they kick off. And he's been doing pretty well so far. He's only died the once, a couple of kills, 3 assists. Onto the Gyrocopter. Now the question is, do Alliance want to try and look for a fight here? Loader, he's up here on the mid lane, starting to just clear out the creep wave and get the push on. And Maddie's going to Glimmer Cape, and is he going to go in for this one? He's just going to take the bounty ring there.
Better be safe than sorry. Got a Glimmer before you walk in. I think Alliance's game plan, they're not looking to barrel 5-man down mid.
Oh, look at Loader. Look how deep he is. He's right into the jungle here. They don't have any dire vision, though. They've just got the sentries popped down, but...
Yeah,
still.
I think Alliance, all they're looking for is random picks. And here we go. He's going to try to get a pick here against Hanskin, but it's very close to that T2 tower. In fact, Hanskin steals Rage, which is actually not the worst spell for him to have.
Jonas, a fan. Right, charges towards Bulldog. He's going to cancel it limp. He finds the slow onto both Ake and Loader, now being forced into position. Will he be able to find anything else to follow? The cooldown won't connect as Ake and Loader are speedy enough to get themselves out of that potential fight.
Yeah, Alliance, all they want to do is
Dire's
gank
bottom
and
tower
farm.
is under
I don't think
attack.
they're looking to push unless a lot of NiP is dead. Also, we are approaching to a stage where Roshan is fairly open to both teams, but neither team really have insane damage output for Roshan.
Do they want to fight this NiP now again? They're going to cancel it. Oh, this is not great for Jonas. The fact getting caught up by Pycat as well. With the Orchid, the Soulbound damage is all too much. Pycat there able to turn that one around and bringing down the Spirit Breaker. And again, I've got it. This Pycat, 9.5k gold. He's now just 1,000 behind the Leshrac. Pycat, his mid game be pretty insane. He's got 2.7k gold in the bank on top of the Orchid now.
Yeah. By the way, Hanskin was so close getting hooked, but there was a Ghost Lady in the way. That's why Emerald Bulldog could not slay him. That Ghost Lady actually was a big part of him surviving.
Well, Invisrune is going to grab this one. He's just going to be bottled up that. They're going to give it to Lifestealer here. Now Loader, can he find anything with this one? There was the... okay, so yeah, NiP know that he's got it. And they're just sticking together here, making sure that no one gets solo picked off in their own jungle. But, well, 14-9 at the moment. And, well, Lumi, this game still could go either way very easily.
Yeah, I mean, having NiP versus Alliance, two of the, I guess, less aggressive team in this particular tournament, they'd like to drag the games a little bit longer. Looks like Emerald Bulldog should be fine from this gank. He has full stack and blame now. The question is, who do you feel has the advantage going into the late game based on hero potential alone, as well as based on how this game's going so far?
It's a trick. I mean, I kind of feel NiP, you know, with the fact that they've got the gyro, there's always going to be that point where he's just going to be able to turn up to the fight and dish so much damage out. But I certainly feel there's going to be a point at the game before NiP reach their peak that Alliance are going to be incredibly strong with the Lifestealer combination, with the Storm, with Pycat zip-zapping about. And Pycat hasn't spent his money yet, so okay, so he's brought up the Soul Booster, so he's going to go back for that Bloodstone after the Orchid. And now Alliance, they're going to smoke up now themselves, and they're ready to go on the aggressive here. Are they going to be able to find anyone? They're going to move towards the Ancients, and that is exactly where they are. If they go to the right, no, they're going to wrap round towards the mid. No, Mad is making the pings. Are they going to be able to catch them out here, though? They're all off the map, NiP. They don't have any kind of vision Alliance this deep, so just this Observer Ward in the dire jungle, which will now spot out some of them, and they're going to see Hanskin here as well. Pycat, he's going to make a beeline straight for Sealkid. Sealkid blows up. Now with the Orchid onto Jonas, they're going to look for more. Admiral Bulldogs, he's gone in onto Era. There's going to be the Fiend's Grip onto Era as well. Alliance, they're bringing Jonas and Fan out down low. He's going to be able to get the charge onto Mad. They have been able to get the cooldown out. Hanskin getting low. Those Bulldogs chasing him down with the right clicks. They'll pick him off. Era will find a return kill onto Bulldog, but it's a 3-for-1. Limp's turned up to the fight, but maybe it's a little bit too late. As Pycat sits forward, there's 4 on the side of Alliance. Limp getting low. Loader munching away, brings down the Leshrac. Now Hanskin TP's in. He's all alone. The buybacks are coming out from NiP, but they just can't get there in time, or can they? Era turns up a Loader. He's already brought down the room because a triple kill for Loader as he gets out as well. Now the charge flying through. There's going to be an Ice Blast also. Loader's just going to turn back and fight. Rage is up and now with Ake. The fight will continue. Loader takes down Spirit Breaker. It's an ultra kill. Now he goes for Era on the Gyrocopter. Can he do this one with the help of Pycat? Can they find the gyro? Era getting low. He's out of mana though, Pycat. He can't stick around for this fight. He's got to get himself out of here. And the question is whether the NiP can find the kill of the Storm Spirit. They're moving forward. Pycat, has he got any hope of getting out of this one? He pops the charges. He's got a little bit of a zip. And now Bulldog with the hook shot from downtown finds himself another kill. They're controlling Bulldog. He's able to force out himself away. Pycat moving forward here with the Glimmer Cap, but no, that's going to be it. What a fight there between the two sides. That was insane.
Okay, I gotta hit show 5 recap, but that thing is not helping you out because the fight lasted so long. I gotta say there was 2 to 3 buyback coming out from NiP, and all it gave was a ultra kill on the side of a Lifestealer. I don't think he died at the end, right? He was able to walk away, or No, he's 6-0 and 6.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
He
Yeah,
did not die.
Yeah, and now he has the Basher. Now Loda still has the problem of being kited. The only reason he was able to get all these kills because NiP was fighting into him. But now with the Basher, he's gonna start able to kind of keep everybody locked down, even through Gyrocopter's BKB, which, by the way, just got picked up. The BKB would have been absolutely huge for NiP if it was able to activate it in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the fair few buybacks coming out still, though, net worth-wise. NiP, they're keeping themselves toe-to-toe. How's the graph looking? How's that fight kicked in? Oh, it is, and it's not looking pretty for NiP Alliance. They're moving up to just over a 5k lead. It's not a massive lead 28 minutes in, but it's the biggest lead we've seen so far this game, and certainly Alliance's first chance there to begin to break away from NiP.
Yeah, if you look at the net worth of all the heroes in their respective roles, they're keeping it very close at the top, but Clockwork has a sizable lead for Alliance, and so does Alliance supports. And hold that thought, because Alliance is going to make another play.
Yeah, and with this deep rated vision, what they've got the vision on Limb. Oh, Bulldog finding the blind hook shot onto Limb, and now the Orchid following up. The relocate coming in, bringing Loda into the fight. The Bash is holding the Leshy in place. Pycat will clean that one up, and that's going to be another kill there for the side of Alliance, bringing down the Leshy at the moment. Pretty much is one of the biggest issues. He's top of the farm, and they might find Jonas and Fan as well, cancelling the TP there with the Vortex. He's going to look for the charge, so they're trying to find him, but they can't stop the charge. Now with the Ice Blast flying through, maybe NiP can turn this. Error coming in with the cooldown. Bulldog's going to get kicked up. It's just too good. He gets himself out, cocks a pop. NiP can't chase it down, and Bulldog keeps himself alive thanks to Mad there with the plays on the bait.
Item for 2. Well, hold that thought, because Loda now comes in. He activates the drum. He's the race car build. Hanskin will just hide in the trees and walk away. Hanskin, by the way, has been saving for that Blink Dagger for the last 5 minutes or so. He's up to like 1,900, 2,000 gold, but he just keeps dying.
Fan, he's trying to TP out. Oh, he's going to make it just in time as Mad comes around the corner. Very close escape.
I think maybe it's time for Rubik to give up that Blink and just go for Force Staff. It's an item that could keep himself alive, keep his allies alive, and honestly, I think he needs the extra mana as well, but looks like he's going to keep going for the Blink Dagger. He also had bot back in the previous fight. NiP is really in big trouble now. Again, Leshrac is doing fine, although, by the way, he didn't get the chance to suicide in either of these fights. And Gyrocopter is doing fine, but the rest of the team, again, they're really falling behind, and I just don't know where they're going to find the catch-up gold. All of them needs Force Staff, all of them want Skull Scepter, and I just don't think they will ever see it this game.
I mean, I kind of for the best thing at the moment for NiP is to fight as a 5-man. As some of them are just getting caught out each time by the pick-off potential from Alliance. But at the same time, it's not out of the question for Alliance to take a full 5-on-5. We've seen them already do it this game. NiP, they've just got to try and find a jump, but at the moment, Alliance just keep coming out on top every time. As, well, it's just... Alliance, just with their movements as well, they're just so aggressive and they don't need to stick up together. I mean, at the moment, you just got Bulldog on his own on the top lane. Loda has got the backup of the rest of his team, and they just don't seem scared of NiP.
They shouldn't be, because the only form of initiation that NiP has is just a charge, which is pretty much telegraphed across the map if you see him anywhere throughout that charge path. Whereas if you look at Alliance's initiation, it's either fairly instantaneous from the Storm or Clockwork, or it could be covered in a wide distance from the relocate from Ake. So right now, Alliance pretty much have the majority of the map to work with. But I really like the fact that they're just really focusing on the lane, focusing on the farming, and they're not going for the Roshan. I think trying to Rosh against NiP and you're going to eat a call down, Ice Blast, into pit, that's how they could lose. I'm glad they're just focusing on the lane and farming instead.
I mean, for Pycat now, do you feel him? Does he need to go for BKB after the Bloodstone? Is that kind of the dream item pickup for the Storm that's going to make it pretty much impossible for NiP to control him in the fights? Or do you feel he can go for something even more aggressive?
I said Bloodstone earlier, I said BKB earlier because there was just so much magic damage on the side of NiP. Yeah. But he was able to go through the most dangerous stage for a Storm, and came out ahead quite beautifully. So now he's doing the easy part. Now he gets to pick off supports, and honestly, I don't think he needs a BKB, but if he wants to be ultra safe, BKB is the item to go for.
There's going to be a charge down onto Pycat. NiP, they are in the nearby. Can they do anything about this one? Oh, Jonas and Fan's going to get silenced up, and Pycat, just as what you want to run to be. We're going to try and turn this one around. Ice Blast will connect with the Storm Spirit, but Pycat is bringing Jonas and Fan low. He does realize this is the time to back out. Ake will TP out from the sidelines. But again, I mean, Jonas and Fan tries to lead in, but he just takes the brunt of the damage from Pycat.
Dyer's top tower
Just
is
again
under
proving
attack.
for NiP to be very hard to catch out these heroes from Alliance.
Yeah, that will continue to be the case until Spiritbreaker picks up his Black Game Bar, which, again, Spiritbreaker is not the best farming hero. I'm not sure where he's going to find that BKB.
Indeed, he's got a bit of Midas, but he's got the Midas, you know, that is going to help him in the long run pick up those items. And well, what else are we seeing from the side? Rubik is closing in on his Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about the kind of the initiation potential of the Spirit Breaker. If they can get a Blink on the Rubik as well, that's going to be massive for NiP, because they might be able to catch these heroes out. And now, maybe Bulldog, he might have overstayed his welcome. He's on his own. He's going to force himself away. He's still going to get bashed. They're going to have the Nether Strike to follow this one through here. And NiP, they're looking for a kill. This is going to be a very tasty one as well if they can bring it down. They certainly can there. NiP catching out Bulldog, who just a little bit too far into enemy territory there.
Yeah, that's a pretty big kill. Knowing that Clockwork is dead for 50 seconds really opens the map up for NiP, especially for the supports. Not only that, Limp was hurting for the Bloodstone charges. He'll take that one for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And still the farm, both for Leshrac and Jaro, is looking, they're keeping themselves on par with Loda and Pycat.
And there's a Blink on the Rubik. The great thing about the Blink is, right now, NiP really lacks initiation. Again, the Telegraph charge is not going to do it alone. They really need a secondary initiator, and Rubik is that secondary initiator. It's a great initiator also against Lifestealer. You could just blink in and pop him up before he rages. And there is a chance that you could chainstun him to death.
And again, I've got to say these very deep wards from the side of the Radiant from Alliance, giving them a lot of info in the whereabouts of NiP. We keep seeing them move around this high ground point here. So Alliance, they're going to be able to gauge whether there's a situation to just jump straight in. And,
Radiant's
with the
bottom
hookshot flying
tower
out as
is
well, just
under
trying to get a bit
attack.
of deeper vision from the jungle. They're going to see if they can make a move onto this one. NiP, though, they are all grouped up towards the tier 2, and this could be a good fight for NiP if it kicks off. And here we go. NiP, they want to try and go on the aggressive themselves. We've seen Alliance do it a few times, but
the aggressive ward has spotted.
Again,
yeah. So Alliance, if they want to play it safe, they could just hide behind their towers. In fact,
they do it again. The counter smoke. They did this before when Mal was aware that NiP have done it, and they're going to try and find the counter jump. And it's gone on to the illusion though. Race straight away from Loda, and now Hanskin has got the stolen cogs, which is going to help him out quite a bit this fight. But again, is he going to be able to help them find a kill? No, because Bulldog hookshotting in onto Rubik. He's going to be able to steal the hookshot there, or is it the battery? So no, he's got the hookshot solid. Doesn't matter. He's dead anyways. Pycat cleans up now with the Fiend's Grip onto Limp. It looks like Alliance is going to try to take this fight. Pycat trying to bring down the AA. He'll find the AA. Aaron's put the BKB, but Loda with the Basher. Going to work with the Gyrocopter. They'll bring down Gyro. They've already found 3 of them. They've only lost Bulldog on the side of Alliance, and Pycat, he's still got mana to look for more potentially. Albeit just a little bit. Jonas and Fanny's got the charge in a second to get himself out to another part of the map. Limp will be able to find the TP out, but now Pycat tipping forward. He really wants to find the Spirit Breaker, who's having to dive deeper into enemy territory just to create the space. He's got the TP. They won't be able to cancel it. Jonas and Fan keeps himself alive, but again, a 3-for-1 trade there for Alliance.
Yeah, Alliance is able to initiate from so far away, and NiP just can't run. They need multiple Force Staff before they can take fights. I think that's all it comes down to. They just need to be able to run away from these fights. And what a great play from Pycat. He activated an Illusion Rune, sent an Illusion Storm up front, baited the initiation, and that was a big part of why they won that fight.
Well, here we go, Alliance.
Oh, they find Pycat. Can they land the stun? There's chainstunning him right now, but he's actually going to be able to zip away. In fact, relocated back out as well. I do believe Ake will be left behind as a peace offering.
Do they just leave Ake here? Is there any way they can try and fight back into this one? Let's see if they bring anyone back. They are going to bring Pycat back. They want to continue to fight into this one, but Ake, he's getting low and he will get taken down in Pycat. He's going to be able to continue to fight this one because he picks up a BKB from the base before he returns to the fight, and that catches NiP off guard. Lodi getting low. Bulldog now with a hook shot onto Silken on the back of this fight, but it's looking good for NiP. They've actually found themselves a double kill here. Can they find anything more here? They're chasing down man. They're going to find the bait as well. 3 kills there from the side of NiP. And indeed, blinking forward, Hanskin. He's out of mana though. He can't get the controller to Bulldog, and now Pycat zipping back. He wants to try and turn this fight, takes down the Rubik there with the Orchid, and gets himself out of the split up. It's on point. They find Pycat charging forward. They'll bring down the storm. NiP take down 4.
And they're right next to the Roshan pit. NiP may not be out of this game yet. Diabolic Edict as well as Rocket Barrage doing work against this Roshan, but scouted out by Admiral Bulldog. Are there going to be any buyback plays? Relocates backing up in 8 seconds. I don't think Alliance will be giving this Roshan for free. They can't relocate within the vicinity. Storms back in 9. and of course, likes it back in 15. Let's see if NiP... they see how low Leshrac is. He's completely out of mana. I don't think NiP could persist with this Roshan. In fact, they should not, and they'll back out.
Yeah, the relocate's coming in. Jonas Lukani's already charging away the board. And Pycat is going to be able to find Era here. Era getting trapped back into his one. He's got BKB in 4 seconds, but 4 seconds isn't going to be enough to keep himself alive. Era goes down. Pycat's in before, and he's going to find Sealkid as well. This should be another kill for the side of Alliance. Sealkid pops the charges. It's not enough. Double kill for Pycat. Has kept links forward. He gets the telekinesis onto Pycat as well. Now going to be able to hold in place, but he gets 4 stuff back. Pycat's going to be able to get himself out again, and a buyback actually coming out from Era there, but I don't know what's going to achieve here for the side of NiP as Alliance. They've backed out, and they're ready for round 2 if it kicks off.
Well, NiP is ready for round 2 as well. They have all teleported in. They have BKB on this Spirit Breaker now. They're charged in. They dust up on Mad. Can they actually bring him down? It's a question, but no. Hanskin's the first one to drop. The Golden Heroes are all popping up, and it's Pycat that's on the front line. He's almost out of mana, but he will use the last bit to zip back out. Call down misses on everybody, and with the BKB down, I'm not sure if NiP wants to fight right now. Johannes fan in the middle of nowhere. He's caught out. He's getting mini-stun. Admiral Bulldog in the front line. So is Loda. Can he get the bash? Storm slips back in, and they will get the kill on the big back cow. Meanwhile, Limp's on the run. He's activating his post-Nova. I don't think he'll make it home. The Ice Blast misses clean. He storm threat again. He's such an annoying fire blue panda that's just zipping back in non-stop. How does he have so much mana? 13 charges on Bloodstone, and the Orchid is your answer.
Oh boy, and now with 3 heroes down on NiP, there's going to be a bit of space inside for Alliance to get on the aggressive here on the mid lane on this tier 2, but 30, coming up to 39 minutes in, 32 for 18, a lot of action between these sides. And well, the question is how big of a difference is it creating? And the answer is not that much. I mean, we're seeing about a 5k lead in terms of net worth for Alliance.
Look at the kill score, right? The kill score is
crazy. It's
14 kill ahead. Yeah, I mean, Alliance somehow unable to climb a lot further ahead. And you got to keep in mind, it was, what, 4th, 5th buyback from NiP? A lot of that gold is also down the drain for them. So even though this is not a big gold lead, at least in the graph, it's a big gold lead in items. And right now, Pycat, he's essentially unstoppable.
Yeah, now big pickups coming out from both sides. So we're going to see Ares manage to finish off the Manta Star, but Loda, he's got the AC. And in terms of these engagements, he's just going to be absolutely chipping away at the heroes and the structures as well. The push is going to be real. But NiP, now with the smoke up, they're going to head in towards the Radiant Jungle. Well, and of course that little rocket, it's not going to spark out anything. They want to find Loda, but there's the entire lineup of Alliance here, and I don't think they know it. This is going to be a very risky fight to take. Do they want to go for this one? Destroy's going to get the spell from Pycat, plus the BKB. They want to fight this one. Ares going to get a very nice call down. Rage is being popped by Loda. He's trying to go to work, and they've actually found the kill to Rubik. Pycat's even around though, bringing Era low. It looks like Era won't be able to do that much in this fight because it's a double kill for Pycat. Sealkid has brought down a fair few, but it's Pycat with a triple kill. He's just cleaning up, and now Ake, he brought back, he tethers into Pycat, trying to get in the mana to continue to fight. Loda just gets taken down here by the Bastion of Jonas, but Pycat, he gets an ultra kill. Is this going to be a rampage? Live the last to go. No! The rampage denied by the Bloodstone suicide, but still Pycat there going crazy, going ham against NiP, and it's just too much, taking the entire team down.
A huge buyback from Wistless.
I mean, giving them the mana.
Yeah, giving them the mana. He came in just Tether and then Bloodstone, giving Pycat the last bit of juice. And every time Pycat wins this fight, this is the war of Bloodstone, right? Where you have Leshrac losing Bloodstone charge and he gets a regen rune now. So if he could hold that for the next Roche fight, or next fight in general, that would be huge. My question is, what is Pycat going to be going for the next item of choice? You could get more mana regen. Yep. I think Boost of Travel.
Scythe? Oh, yeah, Boost of Travel.
Boost of Travel, because he has so many Bloodstone charge, essentially he's playing with 2 life all the time. Scythe is an excellent choice, especially against so many BKB. You could hex them before they activate their BKBs.
Top towers
I mean, this is every Storm player dream of this game.
I certainly do, and I look at the BKB times as well. You've still got a fair bit on the Spirit Break. He's got 8 seconds, but I mean, Era's probably one of the most important. It is down to 6 seconds on his BKB, which isn't great when you're fighting up against heroes like Pycat, who are very easily going to be able to avoid fighting for 6 seconds and just come straight back in after the magic immunity's gone.
I think the key that NiP wants to look for on all of these fights is to target the Wisp first.
Okay.
He's obviously the squishiest one. He doesn't have any defensive item per se, and removing him removes the overcharge, the movement speed for the Lifestealer, removes the mana regen for the Storm. It's a high value target, but that sneaky little bugger, man, especially with Glimmer Cape, she's gonna be hard to find.
He certainly is. And Era and the gang just hanging back, looking for some more farm. There's going to be Sanj coming out to Jonas and Fan as well. And I imagine that is going to be him looking for the Halberd, which is going to be very nice against heroes like the Lifesteal. You know, once the rage is off, going to be it's a nightmare to play against. I mean, we're not seeing, of course, Loda go for something like a BKB for that extra bit of magic immunity. So the Halberd is going to be big if Jonas and Fan can get that online soon enough. And it's going to be the Scythe that's been picked up there by the I mean, at this point, it's just a question of whether NiP want to try and fight or if they're happy just sitting back and farming. Pycat, he's been able to create quite a sizable lead in terms of farm between himself and them, coming to about a 4,000 lead compared to the Leshrac. And I've got to say, this game, it has been a stand-up performances for a lot of heroes, but Pycat on this Storm, he's been an absolute nightmare for NiP.
I do want to talk about the Halberd a little bit more. Not only is it great against the Lifestealer, it's also great against Storm.
Yes.
You just put it on him, he can zip around all he wants, but he's not doing the attacking, which a lot of his damage is actually physical from right clicks. But is there any chance that it could be a Silver Edge? Because every time they jump on the Lifestealer, he's brought very, very
Radiant's
low.
bottom tower is under attack.
Admiral Bulldog getting the hook shot onto Limp, but Hanska's going to be there with the telekinesis and forcing Limp out. Limp's going to be okay, but there's going to be a wraparound. Aki's actually relocated in, but this is a bad relocate because he gets blown up. Pycat, though, he still might be able to rectify the fight. He brings down Hansken, but now the BKB's being popped by NiP. Hook shot, and the Infest Bomb blowing up the Rubik in the air. Now Jonas and Fan getting taken down as well with the Fuse Grim holding him in place. They're just going to leave Matt to try and deal with that one. He should be able to finish off the Spirit Breaker. Alliance, they're actually looking for more. They want to try and find Limp, but Limp will be able to TP out from the sidelines, but still, 3 heroes being taken down on NiP and only losing the IO from Alliance.
Yeah, with all of these more and more fights being lost on the side of NiP, one has to question, are they in the correct mindset to look for these fights? Because it's like the 6 or 7 times they smoked out to look for these fights. Are they better off farming? I'm not sure, because when you're farming against this team, you're just so vulnerable to being picked off by a Storm, being picked off by Clockwork. So maybe the only choice is to fight into Alliance, but they're just not winning these fights. And that was after a Wisp relocating in and essentially dying at the beginning of the fight too.
I mean, now they're going to look for Roshan here. If they give this to Pycat, which I imagine they will, then Ice Blast is coming through. I don't know if NiP can fight this one. There's still 30 seconds without Jonas and Fan, and Roshan falling incredibly fast.
Maybe they give it to Lifesteal, because Pycat essentially is immortal. Yeah,
he pretty much is at this point. I mean, he's died 4 times this game, but he's been so active. 19 kills, 11 assists. I mean, Pycat, he's been making magic happen throughout this whole event.
Yeah, I'm happy that he has a game like this, because the first 2 games today, he's just got ganked non-stop. And he just got shut down.
Which he did this game as well. It's just he's
recovered. Yeah. I think a big part of that was his his team creating a ton of room for him.
Yes. Yeah.
And now Alliance creating space as a team, going to the enemy jungle, knocking down T2s. So as NiP, I think this is where you start playing for the ultra high ground late game of a Divine Gyro.
Ooh. But
can only wish. I mean. He's got Demon Edge. He's got 3,200 gold, right? I mean, I think he wanted to get MKB, but
you've got to go Rapier, surely.
Yeah, maybe this is where you feel like, all right, I got to go Rapier or
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That's the dream. That's the dream indeed. But Alliance, they're looking to end the dream of NiP here. As the question is, do you feel Alliance are confident enough to go for the high ground yet? Are they ready at this stage, or are they kind of waiting for NiP to come out and maybe look for another fight that Alliance can capitalize on and turn around against them?
I think so, because if you look at what they got, they have Aegis on the Lifestealer. They have 3,000 gold on the Storm, so that basically means if he dies, he will respawn instantaneously with the Bloodstone, and he could just Breach of Travel right back in. So you're looking at 7 lives on Alliance. And honestly, I don't think NiP could chip 4 lives, or 3. So I think if Alliance plays it steadily, play it patiently, they should be able to take down high ground. I think Lifestealer might just farm up for his Abyssal Blade, which he does have right now. So that's another item that NiP can't deal with.
And you know, this is going to be the problem. If of course Eric does decide to opt for the Rapier, the fact that they've got the hook shot, they've got the Storm Spirit as well, just to get the Lifestealer right next to the Gyro, so he can get that Abyssal Blade off every time. And it's going to be very hard for the side of NiP to keep Gyro alive in these fights.
Top lane, effing Mad is relocating, or sorry, he's gripping for the relocate, and Johannes is dead.
Jonas and Fan going to take it down. It's a godlike streak for Pycat. And again, I mean, just going to show that NiP needs to be very careful when deciding to send out a hero that far from the base at this point.
They thought they were fine. They don't expect Bane self-initiating with Glimmer Cape. It's just not a play that you see a lot.
I mean, with the Spirit Breaker down for over 50 seconds, this could be the chance for Alliance to try and go for it. And it certainly looks like it will be. Loader heading up to the high ground onto the tier 3s, and well, Pycat just goes straight in, getting the Hex onto Limp. He was actually zipping past because he wanted to find the Rubik. He's going to turn around now, and Bulldog with a hook shot onto Limp. They'll bring down the Leshrac, and now Leshrac down 50 seconds. Will buy back for this one.
Divine is picked up.
Here we go. Divine Rapier hype. Let's see what Eric can do with this one. He's turning up to the fight. Ice Blast coming through. It's going to connect onto Pycat here, but Eric is keeping himself safe, and it looks like they're going to have to let this set of racks at least go. Now Hans gets turned up, he's got the telekinesis onto Loader, there's a lot of damage coming out, but already Pycat is looking for Era, he's controlling him, Era pops the BKB, they want to try and turn it around, but Pycat with his own BKB means there's no way that Limp can control him, and they will back up, but now of course Alliance, they're going to know that the Rapier is on Era, and they're going to be ready for it next time.
Yeah, I think right now, let's see if there's any gold left on the side of the supports on NiP. Can they afford a 4-staff? Can they afford a Glimmer Cave? No, everybody's just dirt poor. So that means priority number 1 is that gyro. And like you said, there's about 5 ways for them to actually get in.
And they're really, Pycat now 6k gold. He's got money to burn. Well, what's he going to pick? Is it going for the old Lincolns here? Was that? Yep, so he's going to opt for the Lincolns here as well. So again, I mean, we talked about, they've got the telekinesis and the charge really to initiate on someone like the Storm Spirit, but he's just going to be so hard to lock down now with the Lincolns on top of the BKB.
I think it used to be that you could cancel the Lincoln immediately upon casting charge, but now they've changed it such that the Spirit Breaker has to get to him. And I don't think Spirit Breaker is getting anywhere near that Storm Spirit.
I mean, Jonathan found, what's he got? He's got the, on top of the sandwich, he's found 1300 gold. Maybe we'll see how they come out for the end of the game.
I think it is really cool for the Rubik to steal that spell until you realize, oh wait, I don't have any mono regen, so let me go back to base.
And there we go. So a couple of big pickups again coming out for Alliance. Bulldog with the BKB completed Lincolns, and Alliance smoking up. Loader getting inside Pycat. They're going to look for the play here to try and, well, at least find another set of racks, maybe even end it. They're going to go straight in onto Limp, pulling him in, bringing him down. Abyss Play's been dropped as well, they're finding him. And now with a hook shot on Terra, this is massive for the side of Alliance. They'll bring down Terra, the Rapier hits the deck, and now looking for Jonas and Fan as well. GG is called! It's too much, and Alliance taking game 1 against NiP looming.
Very impressive fashion. We gotta keep in mind, Storm got first blooded, his jungle got warded, he didn't hit level 6 for the longest time. Clockwork had a tough lane on the bottom, but somehow Alliance made space in the map, farmed like 2 huge stacks of creeps, and the rest was a Pycat show.
It really was. I mean, just looking at the scoreboard at the end of that one, Pycat 23 for 4, 13 assists, and you've got to mention the play though of the team in its entirety. Mad on the Bane, and you know, you're saying at the start of the game, he's tried to make it happen a few times today. With the first 2 games, it didn't.